What's up guys, LyonLife here, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be looking at Aether Gazer, and it's something that I want to go over that I think is really going to help a lot of people, probably mainly I'd say the free-to-play people as well, just because it's something that I think is going to help you maximize your time and limit the amount of resources that you use and not let everything go to waste and almost ruin your characters like I did. So as an example, we're going to be looking at Tyr right now. As y'all know, I love me some Tyr. I have been working on him the last couple of days and just really trying to fine tune him and get him as strong as he can possibly be. But what we're looking at right now is going to be his sigils. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you my first thoughts when I saw the sigils section over here, when I saw, okay, cool, we have 6 slots for sigils, and when you have a couple of them, you get a passive buff over there. As you can see on the right hand side, it does say that you just need a 3 set of either 2 sigils you're going to be using, and you're going to get that passive effect underneath it according to what sigils that you have. So to me, just reading this off the bat, I really just thought I just needed 3 of each, and that was that. Let me tell you how I was so wrong. And with that being said, I definitely want to go ahead and shout out the homie Vinny, who really helped me out. Thankfully, he was hanging out and stream with me one day when I was playing the game and corrected me on what I was doing. So if you're not already following Vinny, if you're not already keeping up with him, definitely go ahead and give him a follow and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. The man's out here putting in a lot of work for the community for here in Aether Gazer, and he deserves all the credit as much as possible. And all the love as well too. I'll have his links down below in the description bar too if you want to give him a follow, and also a link to a spreadsheet that I'll be showing here in a little bit too. Now, what he told me essentially was this: positions of your sigils matter, and we'll go over that in here in just a moment. So before we get back to the sigils and why their position matters, what I want to show you guys next is the skills section here, because you want to look at your character's skills and see what stat they need to help benefit from getting the most out of their attack power or their skill damage, etc, etc. So for example here, looking at Tyr, his skills are essentially just all based off his attack power. So that tells you right now Tyr needs anything that can be attack based or has an attack bonus effect onto it, any sigil that has an attack bonus onto it, to get the most benefit out of his skill damage, right? Cool. So now that we're back here in the sigil section, I'll talk about why it matters for the position in which they're in. So in this case, now I fixed my sigils back to from what they were to what they need to be, just to get the best stats off of them in order to make Tyr better, right? So when you look at your sigils, you're gonna see in that little tab right here next to set effects where it says skill effects. Now your skill effects is where you're going to get extra passes on top of the base ones that you get, like at the top for the attack and HP bonus, but these skill effects are fixed to each sigil based off of what position that the sigil is in. Now these first 2 right here on the list are going to be your fixed effects, so these are going to be the same effect no matter what for this sigil in the first position at all times. As you can see, the sigil at the top, it says Obelisk and Light 1. It's only going to go on the 1 slot, basically, on that first slot on the top left hand side. So on this one, you're going to get the attack buff and the light buff, both light damage buff. Both of those benefit Tyr, so it makes sense to have that. Now, when you scroll down, these are going to be the enchanted effects that I've gotten from RNG. They're not the best, but it's a work in progress. I'm still working on these, but these you can manipulate also. These you can also get whatever effects that you want based off of RNG if you get lucky, and you can add on the extra bonus effects to your liking, to whatever your playstyle is, however you want to or however you want to basically make your character better in terms of stats. That we'll go over later, but for right now we're just talking about the fixed ones and why they matter based off the positions. So the next one here, we'll look at my cupbearer of the gods, and this one's in slot 2. As you can see, this one's supposed to go in slot 2. Now for this one, the skill effects, again, attack power up and normal attack power damage. So I got a buff for both of those. That's a fixed set for this cup, so it's always going to be that for the cup in the 2 slot position on my list of sigils. Now this also, just real quick, I don't think I really mentioned it before, but if you look at your sigils, you want to look at them in, I would say, the counterclockwise position, right? So the top left one here, that's going to be your slot number 1. The one below that one from the left going down is slot number 2, and then 3, and then bottom right here is 4, and then the right middle side is 5, and then the top right is going to be 6. So look at it like that. A lot of times you'll see people talking about numbers 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, right? They're just talking about sigil positions. Depending on what sigil it is, those are the most preferable positions for those sigils, so on and so forth. But sigils go from numbers 1 through 6. Now let's say you're doing your battle sweeps for your sigils, and let's say that you're running them constantly, you're wasting a whole bunch of stamina, but you're not getting the sigils that you want by preference in the right slot that you need them in. So if you're just not getting the ones that you want, you can dismantle the 5-star sigils that you currently have that are further wrong position positions, use that resource in order to buy new ones. And where you can do that is going to be in the Sigil shop. So you go here to the trading zone, Sigil shop, and you're going to look in the 5-star section, and this is where you're going to be able to purchase any of the 5-star sigils that you need in the correct positions in order to get those effects that you want. In this case, we'll go down, let me scroll down here. I think towards the bottom is the Obelisk of Light. And this is why it also matters too. Different position sigils are going to give you different fixed effects. So I showed you guys earlier that the slot number 1 sigil gives you the attack power buff and the light damage buff for the Obelisk of Light sigil, right? That's for slot number 1. Slot number 2, however, is going to give you max HP up and non-damage over time damage towards elites and bosses up as well too by 2.5%. Neither one of those two in this case, for the example that we're speaking of, is going to benefit Tyr. So why would I need that, right? Tyr doesn't stack off of his HP going up, and his non-damage over time effect stats doesn't really matter whatsoever either. So I would never need a slot number 2 Obelisk of Light for Tyr, just because the fixed effect on it doesn't benefit him whatsoever. Now we go look at the slot number 3. This one would be one that you can consider using, which I do. So this one for the slot number 3 effect is going to give me attack plus 4% and also an increase to my skill damage by 2.5% as well too. So that's why these positions matter and which your sigils are in, because essentially every other sigil is different and the fixed effect that it gives you is different as well. So you might be using sigils that don't benefit your character whatsoever. Now the regular set effect might benefit it, however the extra fixed ones that you get on top of the set effects, you're essentially just having it for no reason, and at that point you've wasted materials and grinding for no reason, basically. That's how I'm seeing it, and that's exactly what I did earlier. So I want to help prevent anyone from doing the same exact thing, because I spent hours and time and all my money and all of my resources to level up my sigils on the wrong ones. So if you can prevent from doing that and just get the ones that are for sure going to benefit you, please do that. Now, this last section that I want to go over is going to have to do with Omega ranked modifiers. Now, I know a lot of us don't probably have a lot of those. Unless you're whaling, you might not have any, or if you're doing free to play, you've been playing every single day, you should maybe at least have one. And where that's going to come from here is if you've been doing your newcomer events in the course missions, you've been getting the dupe shards for title song Poseidon. Once you max that out, you get enough to be able to put her and transcend her all the way up to the Omega rank, as you can see right here on mine. So you'll see here that once you're on your Transcendence menu on that character that is Omega rank, right above me you'll see where it says the number of sigils right there needed to activate the sigil effect is now -1. So what that means is you only need 2 sigils to activate the 3 sigil effect for each type of sigil. So in this case, when you have someone who's Omega rank, they'll be able to equip 3 different sets of sigils, but you'll only need 2 of each. So to fill up all 6 of those slots, you just need 2 of each. I promise I know math. You would only need 2 of each of those 3 sets of sigils in order to get the 3 set effect on each one of them. So instead of having 2 3 set effects, should we have a total of 3 set effects? That was a lot. But yes, all that's going to do overall is going to help out and give your characters more stats, way more power, and just give you a little more wiggle room to min-max if you want to go that route. But yeah, all that's going to do, guys, is just give you way more effects, way more power, way more stats on your characters to make them as strong as they can possibly be. Eventually, one day, we'll have a Omega rank tier, hopefully. We'll pray on it. Maybe if he ever gets his own banner, I will probably wail on that one, but we'll see. We'll find out to see how it goes down. But yeah, and one more thing to note about sigils too, if you haven't already noticed, if you are doing your hazard cleaning in your challenges section, if you're doing that, or if you're refreshing it and you're getting the rewards and the currency for it, you can go here down to the voucher shop on the bottom left, and there's a whole new section of sigils that you're not going to find in the sigil shop, and you're not going to find them in the sigil resource grind. And a lot of characters use these as their extra 3rd set, or even on their 2-3 sets. You'll have some characters that benefit from having these sigils here, but you can only get them from here. Is the only problem. So be mindful of that too as well. Make sure you're on top of that on your hazard cleaning, so you can get the extra sigils here that are essentially just limited to this area only, for their effects as well too. And then if you're wondering where I'm getting the information for all this from, like I said, Vinny was a big help for me. He's actually currently working on a spreadsheet for the community that pretty much goes over all the modifiers, things to know about the game itself, what weapon keys to use, what sigils to mostly use in the characters. He's someone who's playing the CN version of the game, which the CN version is way ahead of global, obviously, and it gives a rundown of the sets and keys that work best for each individual character. As you can see, spreadsheet for dummies is highlighted. Hi, I'm dummy. This works for me because this saves me a lot of time and effort from trial and error, basically, right? And I know it'll help a lot of people as well too. I'll have the link for all of this down below with his links. Again, his Discord is a good place to go to if you want to join his Discord. Everyone's very, very friendly there and very welcoming and very knowledgeable. But as you can see here for the S rank modifiers, this is where I was getting my information for tier. I just recently got his weapon key here, so that was nice. But then of course, if you scroll over here to the right, you're gonna see that the S to SSS rank best set for each character, right? For everyone we have so far, it's not completed, by the way. I know we're still working on it. Vin's a busy guy, so bear with him while he gets all this together. I believe it's just him working on it. He might have some other friends helping as well too, but as far as I know, it's just him. But this is where I got my information from. This goes over the recommended code paths for the characters, the sigil builds if they're between S and triple S rank, and then as well at the end over here on the far right, let me scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see when they hit their Omega rank, these are the suggested sigils that you'll want to be able to use for those 3 sets that you're going to be able to get because they're Omega rank. So this is a great resource for a lot of information, or just his Discord in general, like I said. So I'll have all that down below if anyone needs it or just wants to take a look at it. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Did you do what I did? Have you been messing up? Let me know. Or if I've helped you in any sort of way, if I caught you before you wasted all your time and energy on certain sigils, let me know below as well. Like I said, the whole point of this was to try to help out anyone that didn't go down the same exact path that I did. Because when I tell you I blew everything that I had to the point that I had to spend more money to fix the problem, yeah, no, don't do that. It's not worth it. You don't have to do that by any means. Play the game how you want at the end of the day. If you're not trying to min-max, if you don't want to make a character the best you want to be, do you. Play how you want. That's the whole purpose of these games anyway. With that being said, guys, that's it from me. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.